This is TWiT.
Something really big happened.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about Sam Altman and
something
OpenAI.
bigger than that?
Yep. Half-Life, the original Half-Life from 1998 turned 25.
I cannot believe it's been 25 years. So
there are games.
My mind.
I know. There are games in my life that are just replayable. I've replayed them a million times.
Yeah.
Doom is like this. Quake is like this. Half-Life and Half-Life 2. My God. These games are amazing. When they were released, it was like they came from the future. Half-Life, what Valve, and then I get a real love-hate thing going on with Valve, but Valve stopped working on Half-Life 2/3 of the way through the sequel to Half-Life 2. Like, guys, seriously.
Market change.
And they did a couple of things that I like Portal and Portal 2, but they did that, not Left 4 Dead, or maybe it was called Left 4 Dead. They did a bunch of other games, whatever, I don't really care for, and just ignored their best game franchise ever. And they've ignored it, except for Alex, the game that came out in VR recently.
An experimentation in AR.
Yeah, they basically ignored this world for 20 years. And guys, seriously, what are you doing? Like, it kills me. But anyway, out of nowhere, Valve showed up and said, hey, we just remembered we made this game. It's weird. And they released a 25th anniversary update for it. It was free over the weekend. It's now 99 cents, but you can get the original version of Half-Life. They've actually put the graphics back, the loading screens, everything from the original. The only not the only difference. I'm sorry, there's a lot of differences, but it works well now on the widescreen displays. They're very common today, so they've expanded the field of view. You can turn everything off. You can make it 100% original. Literally to the tune of like the pixelated graphics, and it's classic.
Slow,
it's beautiful. This game is fantastic.
They got the face suckers, right? I mean, that's the main thing.
Yeah, the face huggers, the head face huggers, or is that alien?
Face huggers is correct.
They're on.
I don't know what you call them. I don't know.
They hop around, and this game, it's great, and they were great. Not really add-ons, but like side games, like Opposing Force and Blue
Force
Shift, I think.
Well, this is where Counter-Strike came out of, right?
Counter-Strike came out of this. That was the multiplayer thing. And so this stuff is all on sale. You can still get all this stuff. All the Half-Life games are crazy sale prices. There's a documentary you can watch on YouTube for free. It's about an hour long. They brought back the original teammates to talk about their experiences developing the game. I'm surprised none of them crapped on Valve for never doing anything with it, but okay, it's fine.
They all made a huge pile of money.
By the way, ex-Microsoft guys formed this company, and a big part of their success is they went down to Mesquite, Texas, and talked to id Software, and about some of them had never made games before, and they were like, "We want to get into this market," and they gave them the Quake engine, so go for it. They just gave it to them. They were like, "Do it," Didn't charge them for it, and and the legend is they're still around today. So that was my weekend. And I got to tell you, the opening sequence of this, which is something you could not do today because it's set up like a movie that was made before the 2000s, meaning there's an opening credit sequence that you have to kind of sit through, but you do sit through it because it's interactive. And as you get down into the facility, it goes down underground. If you can look around and you can move around and look over the edges and stuff. And what you see is this increasingly distressing series of incidents where first it's a scientist who's locked outside of a door and he's like, why can't I? And then they're talking about safety and all the radioactivity spilling into the ground. And you see like a half a mile, you see the bad guy, you see the man in black or whatever he's called, the bad guy from the end who gives the speech at the end.
He's a shepherd.
Guy in a suit, Anyway. This game is classic. Yeah, go get it. Just go get it.
That moment in Half-Life 2, when you go through the initial inside,
same thing.
You walk outside.
So Half-Life 2 is actually the better game. I know that's controversial.
It's like Empire.
And there's a lot of reasons for it. It looks better. Of course, it does this later. That game still looks fresh today. That blows my mind. That Half-Life 2 looks modern now. That story, how that has not been made into a movie/TV series, I will never understand. It's perfect.
Such a good word.
But the reason it's better is it holds its quality all the way through. The original Half-Life, that last sequence where you go to Zen, the alien world, is a little half-baked. You kind of leave behind all the fun stuff from the beginning where you had Barney and the doctors and the interaction with those guys.
It's like they ran out of budget. They needed to finish.
Yeah, it was a total time crunch. It's still very, very good, but I mean, the opening of that game in particular, and then those two side games that take place in that same time frame, the Opposing Force and Blue Shift. Oh, God, there's excellent.
Again, that was just a game company then when they're making those. By the time they're making Half-Life 2, they're Valve.
Yeah, I know.
They don't need the money anymore. They pick projects based on their merit.
Nailed it.
That was the thing. They were
just
Valve.
nailed it.
It's midweek, and you really want to know even more about the world of technology.
So you should check out Tech News Weekly, the show where we talk to and about the people making and breaking the tech news.
It's the biggest news. We talk with the people writing the stories that you're probably reading. We also talk between ourselves about the stories that are getting us even more excited about tech news this week.
So if you're excited, well, then join us. Head to twit.tv/TNW to subscribe.